everyone, welcome to CLJ Judgment Series. In this episode, we are going to discuss one order of NCLT Mumbai under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. As you all know, this platform is created to impart legal education in simple and lucid manner. Before moving further for today's session, please subscribe to the channel for more update on corporate and commercial law. In today's case, the National Company Law Tribunal, Mumbai Bench, in the order dated 9th June 2020 of Indus Biotech Private Limited versus Kotak India Venture Fund, allowed the interlocutory application filed by the Indus Biotech Private Limited under Section 8 of Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996, seeking reference to arbitration for the settlement of dispute between the parties. While dismissing the company petition filed by the Kotak India Venture Fund under Section 7 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, dealing with initiation of corporate insolvency resolution process by the financial creditor. Before moving further, let me give you a glimpse of what all we are going to cover in this video. We intend to understand the question of law raised by NCLT. Will the provisions of IBC 2016 prevail over Arbitration Act 1996 through an in-depth analysis of NCLT's order in the case of Indus Biotech Private Limited versus Kotak India Venture Fund. A quick overview of finding of Supreme Court on special law versus general law and the test of arbitrability laid down by the apex court in the famous Booz Allen case, and to sum up the video with an analysis of NCLT's judgment in the presence of arbitration clause in the agreement. Let's have a look on the facts of the case in brief. In 2007-8, the Kotak India Venture Fund subscribed to the share capital in equity and optionally convertible redeemable preference share referred as OCRPS of the Indus Biotech Private Limited, as a result of which parties entered into share subscription and shareholder agreement. As per the SEBI regulation, the financial creditor need to convert the OCRPS into equity share in order to make a qualified initial public offering. Considering the same, the financial creditor wishes to convert the OCRPS into equity shares. During the qualified initial public offering process, a dispute arose between the parties regarding the calculation formula to be followed while converting the respective entity's preference share into equity share. The financial creditor sought to apply a conversion formula which would entitle it to 30% of total paid up share capital of the corporate debtor, whereas the corporate debtor sought to apply a conversion formula which would entitle the financial creditor to 10% of the total paid up share capital. Further, the financial creditor unilaterally proposed to fix a qualified initial public offering date which was objected by the corporate debtor. As a consequence of which, the financial creditor sent a redemption notice dated 31st March 2019 seeking early redemption of OCRPS for a sum of approximately 367.09 crores, but the corporate debtor failed to redeem the OCRPS, and therefore the financial creditor filed a company petition under Section 7 of the IBC on 16th August 2019 seeking initiation of insolvency proceedings against the corporate debtor. The corporate debtor invoked the arbitration clause in the agreement by issuing an interlocutory application dated 20th September 2019 invoking arbitration. Thereafter, the corporate debtor filed an application before the NCLT under Section 8 of the Arbitration Act 1996 with a prayer to refer the parties to arbitration for settling their disputes. After looking at the facts, NCLT drew out three major disputes between the parties around which the fact of the case revolves. 1. Regarding the valuation of the financial creditors OCRPS. 2. Right of the financial creditor to redeem such OCRPS. 3. Fixing of qualified initial public offering date. The question of law raised by NCLT in the present case is: will the provision of Arbitration Act 1996 prevail over the provisions of IBC 2016? If so, in what circumstances? Referring to the famous Latin maxim generalia specialibus non derogant, which means special law prevail over general law, and the judgment of the Supreme Court in Consolidated Engineering Enterprises versus Principal Secretary, Irrigation Department and others, where it held that Arbitration Act 1996 is a special law consolidating and amending law related to arbitration. NCLT further summarized the rules of interpretation of general law versus special law to support the above point as follow. 1. If the subsequent law does not repeal the earlier rule, there can be no presumption of an intention to repeal the earlier rule. 2. Unless the rule-making authority makes an express or implied indication to the contrary, the court should make an attempt to harmonize the provisions of the general law and the special law. 3. If inconsistency still subsists, prior special law is not presumed to be repealed by the later general law. The prior special law will continue to apply. 4. Where a later special law is inconsistent with an earlier general law, the later special law will prevail over the earlier general law. Contentions of corporate debtor before the NCLT were as follow. The present company petition was in the nature of a dressed up petition, referring to the actual dispute between the parties as commercial dispute eligible to be resolved by arbitration. Additionally, corporate debtor is a highly profitable and debt-free company and doesn't need resolution under IBC 2016 at this point, referring the present complaint to arbitration under Section 8 of Arbitration Act 1996 that seeks to refer the dispute between the parties to arbitration is mandatory in nature. The share subscription and shareholder agreement signed between the parties contain an arbitration clause which is wide enough to cover the present dispute between the parties. Also, the presence of arbitration clause in an agreement imposes a mandatory duty on the court to refer the contracting parties to arbitration in case of any dispute. Contention of financial creditor were as follow. The fact of there being pre-existing dispute between the parties is irrelevant for a company petition under Section 7 of IBC 2016. The petition under Section 7 is not for recovery of debt. Moreover, in a case of financial debt and default on behalf of corporate debtor, the NCLT must admit the petition for the commencement of insolvency proceeding. Additionally, petition under Section 7 of IBC 2016 belong to the class of litigation which is incapable of being referred to arbitration since it is a matter in rem. Existence of arbitration clause in the agreement doesn't affect a petition under Section 7 of IBC 2016. Further, as per the agreement between the contracting party, if QIPO date lapse the investment become redeemable, and in case it cannot be redeemed, it has to be treated as a debt, which therefore make the petition admissible under Section 7 of IBC 2016 for initiation of insolvency procedure. Analysis of findings of NCLT. The NCLT took note of the judgment passed by the Supreme Court in the case of Booz Allen and Hamilton versus SBI Home Finance Limited, referred as Booz Allen case, whereby it reconsidered the principle that all disputes relating to the right in personam are arbitrable, and all dispute relating to right in rem are required to be adjudicated by court and tribunals, and held that this principle is not rigid in nature, and disputes relating to subordinate right in personam arising from right in rem are arbitrable. Further, all the disputes in underlying company petition are arbitrable, and there was no default within the meaning of Section 3, subsection 12 of IBC 2016 on the behalf of corporate debtor, and therefore dispute in question fall within the ambit of arbitration. The tribunal applied the test of arbitrability of dispute laid down by Supreme Court in Booz Allen case. NCLT also considered it unnecessary to push a solvent, debt-free and profitable company into insolvency. NCLT raised the following question under test of arbitrability. 1. Whether the dispute is capable of adjudication and settlement by arbitration. 2. Whether the disputes are covered by arbitration agreement. 3. Whether the parties have referred the dispute to arbitration. These questions were laid down by Supreme Court in Booz Allen case as test of arbitrability. NCLT applied this test to bring more clarity on present dispute between the contracting parties. Decision of NCLT. NCLT, after observing facts of the case, listening to the contention of the parties, and taking into consideration the various precedent passed by Supreme Court, came to the following conclusion. Any company petition under Section 7 of IBC 2016 mandates the adjudicating authority to ascertain and record to satisfaction as to the occurrence of default. NCLT in the present case is not satisfied that a default has occurred within the meaning of Section 3, subsection 12 of IBC 2016. Therefore, the complaint is inadmissible under Section 7 of IBC 2016. NCLT also upheld that the adjudicating authority have mandatory duty to refer the parties to arbitration in the presence of arbitration clause in the agreement, and therefore it referred the parties to arbitration. Further, the tribunal find it unnecessary to push a solvent, debt-free and profitable company into insolvency at this point. The dispute that form the subject matter of the underlying company petition are commercial in nature, and therefore it believes that an attempt should be made to reconcile the difference between the parties instead of dragging a particular party into insolvency.